Hey everybody, and welcome to Alan's Bonsai. So today I'm going to be taking these rooted cuttings of Clerodendrum and cutting them way back and putting them into training pots to continue their development. And if left to their own devices, they grow very long and tall, as you can see from these guys. The tallest one is about 2.5 feet. So I'm going to cut off everything except the bottom 2 inches, 3 inches. And when I do that, I'm going to then put those cuttings into this water to keep them hydrated. And then once the tray is empty, and it's basically just pure perlite, I will probably top it up with more perlite, and then I'll take the cuttings. Here we can start with one right here. Okay, so take that guy, boom. So there's the cutting, pretty long and tall. And then just stick it in the water. Get rid of the weed. And then I'll take the little stump here and put it in the training pot. Now the training pots are actually a food container that used to carry strawberries. But I love these guys. See if I can get one apart. Because they're already perforated. So they're just perfect. They're a great size for show-hin trees. Plus the perforations means that all you have to do is cut the top off and boom, you're ready to plant. And in fact, the tray that they were rooted in is also a food container. Mini eclairs, yum yum. So, I use a lot of empty food containers. They just seem to work. Now some containers have very poor UV tolerance, but so far the plastic strawberry pots seem to have very good UV tolerance. So that's basically the deal for today. I'm going to chop all these guys back, so let's do that. Just basically do a haircut. Every one of them is going to get cut back. Okay, take all those cuttings, put them into the water. And I'm just putting them into the water to keep them hydrated until I'm ready to turn them into cuttings. Okay, so back to the tray. I still have some stragglers here. And these little stragglers, you probably didn't need to cut those, but I'm going to do it anyway. So here we go into here and into here. And I know I keep moving around because I'm holding the camera with one hand. I'd really love to get a camera that I could put like on my chest and just use both hands to demonstrate. So if you could join as a patron, I will use that money to buy better equipment. Okay, so now we've got, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, 15. So now the question is getting them out of there, because these guys have rooted quite well. So let me just, I can't pull them out by hand. Oh, here's one that came. Now man, look at the roots on that thing, almost nothing. But this is a runt. So, you know what, I'm just going to put him in the water for now too. These larger ones, I think are going to come with lots of roots. But I need my spoon. I have an old spoon that I used to do this, and for some unknown reason I didn't bring it with me to record this video. So I'm going to stop the video and go get the spoon. Alright, the spoon. So I'm just going to take the spoon and dig down in there. Try to pry these babies up without hurting the roots too much. I need 2 hands. I don't know how I'm going to do this. There's another runt. Come on. Maybe I should just yank the whole thing out of the pot. that's not going to work either. Clerodendrum also has nasty little spines. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm getting eaten up by spines. So now I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'm just going to have to do the removal, at least of the first couple, off camera, because I need two hands and I don't have any way to do that because I have to hold the camera with one hand. I guess if I had a better camera that I could put it on my head or something. I'm really not quite sure how to go with that, tell you the truth. Anyway, let me stop the camera and at least try to yank a couple of them out of the container, and I can show you the development of the roots. Alright, now this is what I'm talking about. Look at how beautiful those roots are. Got a kind of a funky root sitting right there, but I can push that down into the soil. And it has a few roots that are up above the main group. I may snap those off, but man, it's just rooted beautifully. So then the next step is to get it in a container and add some soil, and I'm just using a commercial mix. It's nothing special. So put the container there, add a little bit of soil, put the plant, try to figure out the front of the plant when I put it in here, although as you've seen in other videos you can always modify the front. So I guess that looks like a pretty good front. So then put it in there. Then I want to take this root and put it down so it's not pointing up like that. So I'm going to take some soil and cover that root and then feather the roots out. I want the roots to move away from the trunk, and I'm going to take these, well, maybe I'm not going to do it with my fingers, and take some of these higher roots off. There. And I always want to feather the roots out, because the way the roots are right now is how they're always going to be. And in the future you can always remove some roots if they're not in the position that you like, but it's so much better right now at this stage to just feather out the roots and make sure you've got good nabari for the future. And then it's just a matter of filling it up with more soil. And I never like to smash my soil down, just a little bit of compaction like that. And there, that one is done. And well, all the rest of them are going to be basically the same, which will be boring. As you can see, I've got quite a few here, but look at the roots on these guys. And they all need to sort of be pulled apart. So there's another one that came apart with some fantastic roots. So I'm going to do that off camera, put all these guys into their own separate pots. And then, like I said, I'm going to take the training pot, refurbish the perlite, and then take my cuttings that are in the water here and root them again back into the same container. And since the cuttings have grown so long, I can chop each into 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I may actually need a second container because I just won't have room for all the cuttings into this one. So that's it for this video. I'll be back once I've potted everything up. So here we are. Ended up with 10 really strong plants that had really good roots. So they went into the strawberry containers. And then I ended up with 4 that were fairly weak roots. So I put them into 3.5-inch round containers. So I estimated about 10 or 12, so that's about right. And they haven't been watered in yet, but that's just a simple procedure, just giving them a little sprinkle of water. And as you can see, they're on a bench that gets dappled sun. It's not full sun by any means. I don't like to put freshly rooted cuttings into too much sun because it's just too stressful. But I think they're going to be pretty nice. They all came out, the big ones came out with really nice roots. So once again, 10 with strong roots and 4 with weaker roots that went into smaller pots. And if you want to subscribe, then you can follow these guys as they grow and develop. And typically I let them grow for a considerable period of time, months and maybe even a year or so. And then I'll cut them way back and start to work them. Bonsai for me is not an instant kind of thing. A lot of times when you go to a nursery or a convention and you see pre-bonsai for sale, you never see this stage because no one's going to buy just a stick like this. So hopefully I can give you some insight into just the entire process from cuttings to finished product. And that takes a while, but I'm pretty happy with this. And then the next step is to take the cuttings, the stems that I cut off of these guys and root them back into that container, which will give me even more. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe, like. Oh, and I keep forgetting, leave a comment, either good or bad. Maybe you do something differently or you like what I'm doing. Please leave a comment. If you do have something to say, I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you again.